Hello, everyone. Uh, Welcome to the show once again. This is Kev, and this is BMBBH. If you want to know what that means, just look at the name of the YouTube channel. Just seeing what seeing what that kind of response that would get. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for coming through once again. If you are replay gang or if you're watching it live, and if you're watching it live, it means you're up kind of late. So I appreciate that as well. Um, Thank you for everything you guys do. So anyway, let's get some shout outs. Like I said, replay gang. Make a comment if you like, and hashtag replay gang or replay in progress. We got people like Revelator, Spirit of Variance, Christopher the Conqueror, and Hyper Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power that have been replay gang guys. Uh, yeah, just thank you for that. Also, shout out to the members of the channel as well. Uh, Go ahead and find that real quick. Okay, all right. So the members are as follows: we got Greg, Aaron P, Phil Brad, Gone for Milk, Indigo Flow, D Rock Den, American Negro News, Barry Little, Yamcha 11, Black Pearl, Andre 420, Revelator the Spirit of Variance, The Builder's Table, The Sower of Seed, Detroit 313, Black Light Revelations 2, and Blue Marvel 9. Thank you for your continued support month to month. Really appreciate it. All right. And in the chat so far, uh, yeah, Phil Brad, early birding it once again. Appreciating that, bro. We got RPM. We got Fragmented Sword 77. What it do? All right. All right. So let's get on with it. We can try to get this out as much as possible. If we can do it in a short amount of time, great. Sometimes it takes a 30 minutes to make a point. Sometimes it may take, I don't know, an hour and a half to make a point. But let me see if I can get this point across quite thoroughly. I don't know. Every every show you do, every podcast you do, it starts with a thought. Starts with a sing. It starts with a single thought. I mean, it starts with the willingness to come up with sometimes for some of us, not all of us, original topics. Original thought processes. And I was when I scheduled this a couple days ago, I was just thinking, what if everything that everyone was saying about black men was true? And I referred to these people as naysayers. Uh, yeah, just to kind of keep the language a little professional. So now that I'm on the air, I can offer some clarity as to who those naysayers are. Okay, naysayers included, not limited to, simps, divestors, political shields, sisterhood, big backs, mainstream media. That's what MSM stands for, and racist. And I mean, I'm saying not limited to. I mean, so don't think that these are just the kinds of archetypes that we speak on when I speak about stuff like this. It comes from many directions. I mean, if you are a frequenter of social media, you hear this kind of thing. You see this kind of thing every day in one way, shape, form, or fashion. Yes, it's a lot of I would say dragging black men. And do I blame a percentage of it? Let's get this out the way. Let's get this out the way before I go any further. No, I do not think black men are perfect. No, I do not think black men um can do no wrong. Their digesters like it. Okay. Yeah. I don't think black men are perfect. I do not agree with the sentiment that black men are perfect. You know, the things like that, or things to that effect. I mean, I ride for the brothers, but I don't think that there's should be any favoritism in order because we always have to think about how things got to this point in the first place, and we're not all to blame for it. We're not all to blame for it. Some of it is, but not all. Definitely not that. You know, you just have people who make the decision to listen to horrible sources and bad info based upon opinion. Now, hey, wait a minute. I just said, harmful sources and bad info based on opinion. That's something that uh many of us what many of us hear said about spaces like these. So I'm just putting up some type of hypothetical thought process. This you can take this with a grain of salt. This stuff is not here or there. This is based on probably I would say 90% of my opinion and 10% from, personal observation. People can choose to agree with it or they can choose to disagree. Chaos Rain, what's going on? Hyper catastrophic impact X83rd power is in the building. People can, no, it's not studied, man. I don't have a bunch of notes and such. I just, this is what I've observed throughout the years. This is this is the kind. I'm basically talking about the feedback we always getting about black men. You know what I'm saying? And I've tried to. Well, I'm using imagery. I would say imagery. Okay, so all right. So imagery like this. We supposedly black men. The we worship the ground that white women walk on. We are we are strong in the swirl. We are interracialists, as some people would say. We demand that, we demand that we get some form of reverence from the almighty standard of beauty, as some people would like to say. You know what? I don't even like to use standard of beauty as far as a Caucasian woman is concerned. I'm not saying one can't be. I'm not saying that. It's just that for me, peak beauty for me comes from a black woman. And that's not a virtue signal. I've said this before, I say it again. The black woman at her most beautiful is the most beautiful woman on the planet. It's just that what we deal with on a regular basis is not many do meet that kind of standard. And it's okay for them to say that I don't meet the standard of a well-to-do, whatever black man that they are, that whatever kind they like. I mean, but I mean, it is okay for them to say that I'm not that guy, but they are definitely not that woman, for the way they carry on in these internet streets. No, I mean it's yeah, old ray gun. I mean, but it's black men we go through a huge and many would say toxic amount of dick police. We it is not acceptable in Western culture for a black man to pursue interest in relationships and love outside of the black woman. I mean, I think with each generation, they're starting to care less and less about that. But as far as boomer, Gen X, millennial, that mentality is very strong in these generations. Like we are just like we black men are just abandoners of the community. But what if that were the case? What if we were white women worshipers? You know, what we thought the white woman was God, as many people would try to suggest. And what I used to say in the past is to anyone that has that is that, you know what, it just seems to me that you probably a little salty that people aren't worshiping you. See, when I speak of stuff like this, I speak in terms of no one deserves this treatment, whether it's good or bad or whatever. It's no one deserves the treatment of being worshipped, their feet kiss the ground they walk on, blah blah blah. No one truly deserves that. And if you're doing that for someone, you're either you're either working with a truly submissive woman, and you're a man, or I don't know, you're doing some illegal shit. But mm, so yeah, I don't think it's that serious. I think when a man has a woman, when a black man has another race of women, they are the strength side goes to the black. Just like when you decide you want to hook up with another race of man, you are going to gravitate toward that race of man. That's just what it is at the end of the day. And a lot of brothers are too weak to admit that. We just fall into the things that, people say about us, and we just say it's okay. So anyway. So if black men were everything, if we were everything that everyone says about us, this community would be over with. Western culture would be over with literally. Think about it. They say that thing like, things like all black men want to do is fight and kill each other. All black men want to do is abandon their kids. And, I wouldn't put up images for some of the other shit that they be saying about us. I mean, and we can be like those men's men. We can say stuff like, we don't care, or we try to be these men's men. We can say stuff like we don't care what people say about us and everything. But I mean, you don't have to. Just understand that when there's a person out there that shows you an attitude for no reason, or you finding a behavior that is common within a certain group of people, or there's some type of outlook on you as a person just because of certain things like your race and uh you know the fact that you affirm that you are a male. You don't try to go in these 40 some odd directions that everybody, and on these college campuses. Yeah. They spread false narratives about black men because we are powerful. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that just for the benefit of, trend setting and such. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just that some of us realize it, some of us don't. Not very much you can do from a not very much you can do just, I guess just speaking and such, but we can definitely all compare notes. I mean, like I said, it starts with a thought. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing they say that we're supposedly afraid of white men. Now, I will argue this to the end of the day. They must not be. We must not be that afraid because um, here's what I've witnessed in my life. Number one, uh, although although you do have those black acting white guys, although you have those, although you have those guys, they always knew not to get out of pocket around a group of black guys. They always knew not to get out of pocket. So I will never ever support the argument. I mean, that I would say black men are completely afraid. I mean, the white dudes, in some sets, and some people aren't gonna want to admit this. The white dudes can be kind of manipulative, but fear, outright fear, no. It's just that some white dudes know not to get out of pocket, and they know how to manipulate. They know how to give a little bit, and a little bit, a little bit, just enough to keep them niggas in line, but never out of pocket. Never. They generally, if they don't get out of pocket, if they don't get blatantly disrespectful, they usually are okay. I can't say the same for our people because we're a lot more harsher on our people than we are on them. I'm not saying that you should be directly harsh toward anybody based on any set of characteristics. What I'm saying is, it is a pretty lame look. It is a pretty lame look when when it does appear like that. So I'm not saying like me personally. I've never been afraid of them. I've never been afraid of them. I always knew how to look them in the eye. Sometimes I will catch myself in situations where I had to pick my spot. But as far as being afraid, like as far as expressing viewpoints, I'll tell you one thing about saying anything to them. The race conversation does make them extremely uncomfortable. When I'm talking about them, I'm talking about white people. It makes them extremely uncomfortable. I wouldn't say that black men were afraid of white men at all. I think that black men are like black people. We just want to chill sometimes. We just want a little bit of peace. We ain't killers, but don't push us. Shoot. Just because I know how to conduct myself in public does not mean that I'm afraid of anyone. Just because I speak on subject matter that might trigger some of us doesn't mean I'm afraid to express certain other subject matters with two other groups of people. Because mostly when they say this kind of thing, they're saying it because it's usually a conversation on the internet where the subject matter might become about, single moms and its negative impact on the community or some shit like that. Then, they bring up the conversation about what about the men who ain't there for their kids or something like that. Uh, so it's just like if you bring up something wrong with the Democratic Party, the other side argues they'll bring up Donald Trump and some shit like that. It is a never ending cycle. You are supposedly afraid of white men. You are supposedly afraid to have those conversations. I mean, a while back, I'm not gonna lie to you. In this space, a while back, there it is said that. there was a panel full of black dudes and a white dude came up there and said some snarky shit to the black guys, and the black guys didn't say anything back to him. I don't remember whose panel is that, so I don't want to misquote anyone or anything like that. But I mean, if they let that happen, they really didn't have to. But we do have a culture of people who, whenever it's like, if say we know how black men are disliked. If a white person, a white man, or a white woman says something real snarky to a black man, and it gets the attention of other black folks, the black folks will say the white person won. Yes, they would. They will say the white person won. Huge inferiority complex amongst our people. And it's projected especially on black men because we refuse to, when we focus on ourselves and what we can improve on, we refuse to speak and talk about white supremacy in those conversations. When those conversations, the undertone is white supremacy. If you refuse to do right in your in a conversation with a black man, well, I might have said that wrong. Um, I mean, because at the end of the day, people are going to refuse to do right and not care at all about what you have to think and believe about that shit. Then the same people that, well, some of the same folks, not all, that says that we won't go after white supremacy uses white supremacy as an excuse. Oh shit. Yeah, I won't go after white supremacy, but stop blaming white supremacy. Uh-uh. I think I said that right. Oh yeah, man. I heard that like this afternoon, man. See it. Like uh when he was wrestling in the South, like we used to have some local wrestling shows I used to go to. He was this wrestler called the Lord Humongous. Like he wore a ski mask looking like a, I don't know, BDSM Jason Voorhees or some shit like that. Well, I can't remember how tall the motherfucker was. So yeah, say he died from cancer. So rest in peace, Psycho Sid. Hmm. So that's the earliest I knew of him. But I followed that man throughout his entire career. So yeah. Yeah. Mm. Here's another one. We hate our moms. We hate our moms because if there is a criticism, and I know these conversations are beating the fuck up, but I'm gonna say it again. There are criticisms that your average, that which is that is within an earshot of the sisterhood, or eye shot, depending on if you're on social media and you're one of those reading websites like Instagram or Facebook. Whenever they see a criticism and they learn that it's a black man, and all of a sudden there's an implication that we hate our mothers. No, we don't hate our mothers. We don't. We don't hate our mothers. We love our moms. We love our moms. We want, for those of us with living mothers, if you're a black man, because that's certainly not true. You know how I know it's not true? Because over 80% of black men are gonna march down to that voting booth this November and vote for Kamala Harris, whom they believe is a black woman. Just as black as The people that are in these YouTube spaces, just as black as she can be. Just went to a fight the other night and the hockey game broke out. Yeah, damn. Those happen. Hey, your mama black is ridiculous. Sure is. However, catastrophic impact X83rd power says just because my mom is black doesn't mean I have to be with a rude, aggressive black woman, nor do I have to tolerate disrespect. No, we can just do we can just do what we do, man. We can just live our lives. We can just live a peaceful existence. God didn't put me here to be disrespected. I'm sorry. I don't care what happened in the past, or I mean, for that matter, I don't care what happened to you. No, I do care to an extent, man. Everybody has the right to live peaceful lives where no one is where no one is infringing on their rights. I'll say that much. Yeah, I fucked with hockey fight. What kind of black women vote for Romeos? Don Jizzle was good, man. Yeah. According to them, we don't hold each other accountable, so I should be checking you for saying that. They use that excuse in astrological signs to make you excuse poor behavior. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the astrological signs are cool, man. You know, I like representing Virgo. We're Virgos are we Virgos are rigid, vindictive assholes. Marcus Romero Productions was good. Also, let me remind all of you watching. Yes, we got 12 here. Make sure that when you subscribe to this channel that you are remained subscribed. Uh, because it seems like every time I get past 370, then it goes back to 360 something, and it's just like it's kind of pissing me off. And I mean, it's fine. Like I always say, it's fine if people are unsubbing. It is what it is, but it just seems strange to me. It just seems strange to me that I just can't get past a certain number. I'm just staying at like the same number, around the same number. And I don't know what the fuck is going on because it's not my platform. It's just a platform that, I speak on, and uh if I probably could go back in time and name this channel something else, I probably would. Now that I think about it, it's just this thing that I have called pride. I mean, I refuse to give up on anything, and I think this is an idea that needs to be out there. That's why this channel is named what it is, and is um whether it's impossible to get past the shadow ban or not. Uh, I thank the people who are here rolling with me, and some of you have been here for a long time, so appreciate, appreciate. So anyway, yeah. So we'll probably gonna open up the panel here in a little bit. You know, I'll have to be the only one speaking. There's another thing they say: niggas are done. Done is over with. And when they say niggas, they mean black men. Just and this is something that I noticed. Like we say we took this word back, nigga, whatever, but for some and many in these circles, nigga is used as a term of separation. We have joined the other side, so you niggas over there. I mean, not that I disagree, there should be separation to an extent, but I don't think that if you accept the label of nigga, and I believe that I believe that wh- when they say stuff like niggas are done, they are referring to you. I don't believe niggas are done if you want to talk about in the sense of simping and relationship stuff. I would agree that most are. In fact, probably you probably need to take them off the fire. But there will always be a tenacious minority that pushes back against this kind of thing. Hmm. They will say anything to disrespect black men. So what are you gonna say to them back when you run into a situation like that? I used to like I used to jump in comment sections and you know it seemed, and I don't mean to brag. It did seem like every time I would say something, it would elicit in response every time. Because one thing you have to understand is when you bring up a key point or a key fact to push against the narratives that they're trying to push, then they will get angry with you. Like Patches O'Houlihan, you gotta get angry, Shoot. Then they ain't got no choice. They don't have a choice but to respond. I always used to be a master at that. I've just been slacked off lately because it's like I care less. I see all this stuff all the time about, the everything said about black men. And the way black men cope with it is, you have that group of black men that have become apathetic to it. They don't care. They don't let it bother 'em. Many would say that's the best way to go. You don't worry yourself too much, you can live longer. They'll say some shit like that. You live longer not worrying about shit. Sometimes I do believe that's an excuse not to deal with what's going on, how we're viewed, how what is said, what things are said about black men. And believe me, I don't mean to speak on this as a point of, trying to get people to gaslight. Oh my God, they said mean things about me. Oh, because that's where some niggas go with that shit. They think there's just some point of manhood, not addressing the shit. I mean, not bothering, not addressing, but hey, you know what? This is what we got these spaces for. Shoot. And that kind of thing, that's at an all time high. What if the naysayers were right about black men? Hey, we're obviously all voted for Trump. Can you imagine the black vote if all black men voted elsewhere besides Democrat? That would be definitely impactful. The problem is most niggas ain't gonna do that. When you see the voter percentages and you see that 81% of black men voted Democrat and the other 19% voted elsewhere. They're gonna use that other 19% to push whatever they want to push in the media. Like I said, those big back Democratic women, those these little simps, that these little simp pundits on TV, these motherfuckers like Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, DL Hughley, washed up comedians, old rappers, all the whole shebang bang. Hey, hybrid, that's inaccurate, man. We hate our mothers, but we supposedly hate our mamas. Dudes be in line with their mama voting. My mama wanted to make it to see the first woman president. Telling y'all, shoot, it's all good though. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just saying, try not to kick up that much of a stink. But can you imagine if Trump actually won again? How hilarious that shit would be. Just to see everybody just like just with all these gloom and doom scenarios. Oh God, Trump is in office again. Oh man, it's gonna we're gonna have bread. We're gonna have bread lines around the corner in 6 months. You know, it'll be that much fear being put out there. Yeah. Well, what do they say about us? We're lazy. We don't take care of our kids. You know, we're not there for our kids. Yeah. So there's this, and I should have focused the show on this tonight, but I had already scheduled this show. So you're just gonna go and get it out the way. And tomorrow night show is gonna be on this black wife effect. I mean, I try not to do these kinds of shows because people be like, "Oh man, what about you, Kev? You got a black wife? Shit, you tell us about the black wife effect." And I'm be like, "Shut the fuck up. Not in the mood." But yeah, oh wait a minute, I am in the mood to talk. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna cover what I think of it because the black wife effect is just basically some. It was a social media narrative being spread like, you know, white men excel or do great when they have black wives or some. I don't know. I don't know what it all entails. It's nothing I never truly paid attention to, for real, for real. But because this is social media, and I do understand that I'm not talking to myself when I make these shows, then we gonna talk about some shit that you know. And RPM was all right. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know what you meant to say, but thank you for the money. Here you go. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for everyone who super chats this channel, and thank you for RPM for being tonight's super chat. My habitual line stepper brother Donnie said of YS4W said, "What if is an admission of defeat? They can't counter your logic, so it becomes a real life MacGuffin. Produce X Mach moment." Oh man. The thing is, we got people that we got people that we deal with on a regular basis in these conversations that think that they got Thanos stones in their fucking hand, so they reshape the reality into whatever they want it to be. It is I I would actually I actually grew up with most black folks telling me that white folks have a really big problem admitting that they are wrong about anything. And one thing I came to discover as I got older is that that's a pretty much an everybody thing, you know. I mean, uh, shoot, it is they won't be able to counter the logic, you know, but they don't care about that shit. They just want to believe what they want to believe, and they know at the end of the day, no matter how right you are, they don't fucking care. And it is, and it's a ridiculous fucking thing. We know that a lot of things that are being said about black men are blatantly untrue, and there's not many men out here who have the balls to admit it. There are the select few, you know, Donnie, you being one of them. You know, you you understand what's going on out here, and you've run into very, very, very hateful pushback because of. You know, I've gone through the same thing. Many others have. but the vast majority of dudes, wow, it's disappointing to say the least. Is that Hybrid said he checking out. Gotta be up early for work. We'll catch the rest on replay. Peace and blessing to you all. Be safe. Hell, I ain't finna be here much longer myself. Shoot, because I mean, I really thought about it. You just going on earlier. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to say this. Referring to the image that's on the screen that I put together for a reason, but it was just what it was in my imagination at the time. Um, the man, the black man who is not there for his child, or whatever that is, that somehow falls on black men as a collective. If the child goes astray, which I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Because number one, when I was growing up as a kid, there was enough dumb niggas out there already. Shoot. And the amount of dumb niggas has gone up 50, 60, 70 fold since I was a kid. So I was like, I refuse to take responsibility for any stupidity that you motherfuckers out here do. Yeah, yeah. Number two, if I didn't get you pregnant, you are not my fucking responsibility. Shoot. To be a Negro in this country, be relatively conscious is to be in a continuous state of anger or something like that. Yeah, yeah. If you're not mad, if you're a black man and you're not mad about at least one thing, you probably are mentally unsound. Meaning like you go around with a smile on your face and you don't know why. You be trying to look in all kinds of directions and your thoughts are jumbled. I mean, I'm trying to be as least mean about this as possible. You have a fucking disability. Like, but I mean, it kills me when people say shit like, "Oh, all you do is focus on the negative." Like, it's so much negative shit out here. Like, them niggas are a dime a dozen in real life. Shit, sad, 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 sad stuff. We just gotta not be one of them dumb niggas. You know. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. Do I believe that there are some men that have to exercise some penis control? Yeah. You know how you know one of those ways. If he didn't have the pussy available to him, shit, what you expect that guy to do? No, not tonight, girl. I'm gonna go home and read the Bible. No, get the fuck out of here. Y'all need to be a little bit more realistic about that. Shoot. But we on all sides have been raised with enough awareness. So I don't know why this shit's still happening unless you are purposely getting pregnant or purposely impregnating women. We have enough knowledge at our fingertips and at our cell phones to know what will happen if we have unprotected sex. So why is it that every time a fucking black man speaks, he has to take responsibility for the serial baby maker? Just because motherfuckers, especially B dubs, throw themselves in the same box with dumb motherfuckers doesn't mean I have to. Screw that shit right there. Shoot. If it ain't my kid, it ain't my responsibility. Sorry. Make better decisions. Choose better. But what if? This is what we're here for. What if? What if black men just abandon their children like everybody said they did? Like everybody said we did. What if we didn't raise the kids at all? This right here. Because we're dealing with a climate of women who keep spitting out babies that are incapable. They're saying it out of their fucking mouths. The father ain't there. That means you incapable. The fuck you going to backseat boogie for anyway? Dumbass. Do you know that is a financial and a nurturing responsibility to be a parent? Shoot. If black men were like everyone said we were, this is how each black community across America would look. It would be worse than war torn countries in Africa. The correct response is always, what if I was right? Yeah. Shoot. What I'm saying is that black men are generally good people. Yes, we are. Despite the despite the despite despite the negative stereotypes being blown up three, four, five, six, seven, hundreds of times, black men are generally good people. When Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power said that we have power, we are a powerful group of people, he was not lying because just as we can create, just as we can set trends, we can destroy as well. If black men didn't care that, if black men cared very little to not caring at all, if we didn't take care of our kids, if we were violent offenders, if all we wanted to do was fight and kill each other, if all we wanted to do was make babies and leave them, this community would not be a community. It would have been dissolved. It would have been over with. We would have had black folks in America who knew they had American lineage, unlike Kamala Harris, that would be questioning should they bring a child into this world because it's so fucking shitty. There would be no community at all. Whatever remnants of a community that we have, you can thank black men for that. You can thank them because I mean, shit. We already see it. We already see the results of something that is female ran, female led, like we already seen that shit, and it always costing niggas their lives. So I don't want to hear this shit no more. So anyway, that's it. Donnie, is you doing this from Jamaica? Yeah, Donnie's on vacation, y'all. So yeah, he's living his best life. So commend that brother for that. But anyway, uh, been 51 minutes. Yeah. Got a dislike for last night's smoke show. You know, that could have been anything. Okay. All right. I got 10 likes. All righty. And I got 15 watching. So that means somebody didn't press like. So anyway, I'm about to I'm about to I'm about to head to sleep right now. I really appreciate you guys tuning in once again. It's been great. Thank you once again for the super chat RPM. And I am out here. Long live the habitual line steppers. Till the next time, folks. Peace.